Hello there. There's a branch of training popular in business and corporate circles called soft skills training. And one of the components of that suite of training is often communication skills, presentation skills, which I think runs the risk of undervaluing the real importance of being able to communicate effectively. If we think about it, communication is essential to getting an idea across, to setting expectations, to getting things done, to be able to relate to other people in a mix of circumstances. It is an essential skill that we human beings use in order to further our cause and relate to one another. Now, we've all seen the great orators, the great speech makers, Steve Jobs in recent years, Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, these guys that can make speeches that lift us and inspire us to greatness. And we might be thinking, well, that's them. They could do that. I am not a Steve Jobs or a Martin Luther King Jr. However, this, like many business skills, can be learned. So here are 3 keys to really boost your communication effectiveness. So stay with me and stay tuned. Hey there, it's Ian here once again, and it's a pleasure to be able to be with you. I hope this is catching you happy, healthy, and strong. I'm here in one of my favourite spots, and I hope that you can follow along with me. So, communication, it is an incredibly important part of being human and to further our ideas and our causes. I would much rather someone understand my message and disagree with me than I would someone simply misunderstanding and not getting what I was saying. I was at college years ago, and I had a series of lectures from probably a very smart guy who I could never really understand his message. He would come in and we would sit through an hour of white text on a black text on a white background, these slides, and he would just talk over the slides. There weren't many of us that really understood what was going on until we had a replacement lecturer for a few weeks, and suddenly the lights went on and we were able to understand what we'd been trying to grapple with for the last few weeks. So the messenger and the way an idea is communicated has a vital role to play if we want to be understood. So I've got 3 keys that I'd like to share with you that can help you boost your communication ability. So key number 1 is the outcome that you want from your message. Now, hopefully that's not too much of a stretch. When we design a product or a service, the most important thing is, what is the job we want that product to do? And then we work backwards from that and we design the product accordingly. It's the same for our message. We want to take account of what we want to happen as a result of our message. What outcome do we want? So that's key number 1, and getting very clear on that will enable us to do the next 2. So key number 2 is the actual message itself, the design of how we are going to communicate that message, what we say, what intonation that we use in order to convey our message. Now, a vitally important part of that is what our audience already understands. Every message can be received in different ways depending on the audience. And I know this through doing a bit of comedy in my time over the years. One thing that you think is funny in one culture can be can be accepted very differently in another culture. You have to respect your audience and what they believe and what they understand and what their knowledge level is. So number one is the outcome. Number two is the design of your message, taking particular account of your audience. Lastly, and this is probably one of the most overlooked aspects of all communication, and that is practice. We look at the great orators down the ages, we look at that perfect performance, and what we don't see is the amount of practice that they have put into writing, rewriting the actual script, practicing the delivery with small audiences by themselves, getting that so it is natural and it flows nicely. Do these words build on the last phrase? And all of those components, all of that comes with practice. So never ever, like mastering any other skill, never underestimate the key role that practice plays in your communication. Now, if we are communicating to people that we know very well, numbers 2 and 3, keys 2 and 3, can be done pretty quickly. If we're communicating to our significant other, our husband, our wife, our girlfriend, or someone that we know very well, we already know what they believe, we know what knowledge that they have, and so we can design our message quite quickly. And a bit of practice can also go a long way if it's an important message that we want to get across. So 2 and 3 can happen quite quickly if we already know the person that we're talking to. But if we are talking to an audience that may not be familiar with us, and we are not that familiar with them either, it's really important that we pay focused attention to those 3 keys. The outcome that we want, the message design, taking particular account of our audience in relation to the outcome that we want. And number 3, practice. Take enough time so when you get up on stage, or when you deliver your message, it looks easy, it looks polished, and people understand what you're saying. Even if they choose to disagree, they get the message and they understand where you're coming from and what your intentions are. I really hope that that did make sense. I hope it gave you something to think about. And here's to your better or improved communication skills. I look forward to sharing with you again soon. And until then, take care of each other.